It's us. So, cue up those slides for us if you don't mind. So, Shelley and I have a topic that she and I have talked about for a very, very long time, years. And it's one of those things that I don't know that I ever hear anyone really, thank you. She's our speaker handler, wrangler. But we don't really ever hear anybody talk about this. And it's one of those things that I feel like it's one of those topics that needs to be addressed. It needs to be talked about. And I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, you need to lean into the things that you avoid, okay? And there's a lot of things, some of you are seeing this slide right now, some of you might think, well, I'm not married, this doesn't apply to me, okay? It applies to every person in this room. And I will tell you, I started learning this lesson in 2004. And that's when Shelley got her real estate license, okay? Because when you get your real estate license, your husband is also in real estate, whether they're licensed or not, okay? They run signs, they readjust their weekends, they pick up heavy stuff, they move things, they do stuff, okay? So in anything in life, and whether you have a significant other, you're a single real estate agent, you don't have a significant other, you still have other people that you work with. You have partners. And this whole thing is about partners, okay? Because we have people in this room. I know I had a conversation last night with somebody. I know we have 2 mother-daughter type real estate teams. I know we have people who are unmarried, but they're in business relationships, business partnerships. We have people that are 2 married people in real estate. And that's what we want to talk a lot about today, because think about all the things you've heard yesterday and today. You've heard things about how to do YouTube channels. You've heard of how to sell more houses. You've heard about how to do all kinds of different things. But this whole thing, when we've said numerous times yesterday and today, this is all about people, right? And it's not just the people you're selling to. It's not the people you're negotiating with. It's the people in your house. It's the people that you're in business with to do all these things. So I don't know if as I'm talking with you.
I was just thinking, this is an interesting little thing you have on the side here. What is that?
So the whole thing that we're talking about, it's the DNA of partnerships, okay? That's what this whole thing is about, is the DNA of, and this is a great example. Keep people honest, right? Like, you better spell it out, buddy, okay? But this is what this is about, because you're supposed to be upholding one another. You're supposed to be in the trench together. You're supposed to be doing things together. And there are times where you can blink twice if you agree with me, but I'm sure that being in the game of real estate, it has caused stress at least once in your life.
And who pays the price for that? Usually the person that's at home, when you get home and you're like, oh my gosh, this deal blew up and blah, blah, blah. They're the ones that pay the price, like whether it's your kids or, like you said, your mom, your dad, like we all have family. If you have family, I'm sorry, I know they don't call that marriage, but you're married by blood. So that's part of it. Whether you have a business partner, if you're in relationships, if you have people on your team that you work with and they're your business partners. So people are like, oh, that's my boss. So some people say that. I hate that word. That's like the worst word ever. We're in partnership because if we're not growing and building each other and our opportunities together, then what are we doing? Like, if I'm not looking for an opportunity for each person I'm in a relationship with, then it doesn't really matter. Like, I told Craig, when we were looking at, we built our team, I was thinking about, when I'm 97 years old, we don't have children, a lot of you know that.
Except for the one running around.
Yeah, Casey, thanks for everyone for being babysitters today. I apologize for that. But no, seriously, like when I'm 97 years old, I don't want to go to my grave and think, what did I do? Because the money, the house, the car, whatever it is, that doesn't matter. What fills my heart is the impact we make on people. And that's really what matters to me. And if you know me, you know that through and through. And being married to somebody like Kevin, who's been amazing, and it's not been easy because I'm not easy to be married to. I'm going to lay it out there. But because I have high standards for myself. And then I hold others to high standards because I want them to have the opportunities I've had. And that doesn't make me easy sometimes, but that's okay. I'm okay with that because I think we do well together, so it all works.
It does. No. It totally works. No, it does, because you guys have to think about it for a minute, okay? And if hopefully this is one takeaway you get from this whole thing. All of us, including she and I, were puzzle pieces, okay? And there are things that she's fantastic at, and there are some things in life that something that might be super fantastic in another space is not always fantastic, okay? So there's time and place for every person, and part of what we want you to get out of this is making sure that you're leaning into the stuff that really matters. But the one thing I also want you to take away from this, and I really, really hope you take notes with this, and I hope you really think about this when you get home, because I want you heard Bill talk about the struggles and all the other stuff that he went through, okay? But when you're in the moment and when you're in like that week, like tomorrow or Saturday, okay, somebody in this room is going to say, hey, we can't go do X because I have to go meet a client, okay? In the moment, somebody's going to get ticked off, right? We had plans, right? We had something going on. And people are going to get ticked off. The difference is when if Bill were to draw out for his wife, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm building. This is just one of the building blocks to achieve. We're going to live in Florida. We're going to have a house on the lake in Virginia. We're going to have freedom to do what we want to do. Because in the moment, all we see is you're screwing up my weekend. Okay? But if I know this is just one of the building blocks to get where we're going to, then they're along for the ride. And that's huge.
There's a lot of that because our industry it pulls you in and out of the business constantly. And if you anyone in this room who doesn't agree with that probably didn't sell a house, because when that seller calls and it causes you stress. I mean, have you ever? One thing we can't convey from stage is the anxiety we feel in our tummy when something's going wrong. The one thing, and we're holding it inside. We're being stoic for that client or that person, and then we go home and we're like, they don't know that we just went through one of the worst transactions, or just got slammed by somebody because someone left the door open and the dog got out and it wasn't even you, it was somebody else. Like, they don't know what we just went through. And so we go home and he has no context, or vice versa, because he owns his own company too. So it goes both directions here. This is not like one-sided, by the way. But it's like whenever that happens, it's not one-sided. It's a two-way street. And like with Craig and I in our partnership, stuff happened. We used to call them, Craig, we called them rainy cloud days. Like I look at him and he's like, oh, it's a black cloud.
He just laughed uncomfortably.
Black cloud day.
Black cloud days.
Yes. And that would what he'd say to me. I'd be like, can you believe this client? Because we'd sat next to, our desks were near each other. And I look at him and I go, oh my gosh. And he'd hear the conversation. And Kevin didn't get the privy of that so he didn't know what was coming home to him. And he would say, it'll be a sunny day tomorrow. And something about those words helped me. Just somebody saying, it's a black cloud day. Oh yeah, you're right. And tomorrow what happens? The sun comes out. So I don't know. One
of the things that you need to also think about when you go home and think about doing things differently is you need to have those conversations. And again, it's not just married, the spouses or the significant others. It's also the people that whatever it takes to put on an event like this, whatever it takes to sell a house, whatever it takes to do whatever to run your business or achieve your goals, these are the conversations we're talking about. So if you read this last quote at the bottom of my slide here, or our slide, is...
He did them, I didn't do that.
Yeah, that's, if she'd approved it, then she'd have seen that there was a missing quotation there. But who is right? You can read that more than one way, okay? Because when you're married, not everybody's always right.
No.
Right? But this is not about that. This is about who's right for the role. Who's right in terms of like the next step? Who's right in terms of what we need to do to move the needle? Because you shouldn't be in this game of I'm right, because that was actually one of the pieces of marriage advice I got. I got 3 the day we got married. And one of them was, you're never right. And the guy said it like tongue in cheek, right? Like, ha, ha, ha. But there's an element of truth to that. Because if you try to prove yourself right to your partner, now you're really wrong. It doesn't work, okay? Work is seeing the success, or being right is seeing the success. Okay, so
it's the big picture of like, we're going here, and if that, like, and with Kevin and I being married, it's been like, well, he would sometimes, something's really important to me and it's not important to him, then he focuses on what's important to me because it's a low level importance to him, and vice versa. And probably a lot of you do this. Craig and I have done the same thing. He's like, sometimes I get like these wild ideas and I think they're really, really bright in the moment, and then he goes, Shelley, he'll reframe it for me and put me in like perspective of like, that's probably going to be a lot tougher than you think it is, because I get super excited about things really quickly, and then I have to like kind of, you got to back up and figure out how you're going to implement all of that. And I've done some things like that where he was right. I was 10 days on my feet on an expo down here in Charlotte, giving out. It was worth it. We sold $50 million, $60 million worth of homes from that, not from that event, but our clients were happy. But it was 10 days of hard work that I was like not prepared for. Anyways, I digress.
So we're going to talk. So we were, when you think about partnerships coming together, because there are times in your life you should be running like a lone wolf. You should be doing your own thing. You should have your skill sets. You should have the things you're going to do, and you should run like a wolf. I mean, do your own thing, kill and eat your own food. Okay. But when you think about partnerships, you're getting impassionate about this one, aren't you?
No, I'm just standing up.
Okay. You want me to join you?
No, you're
okay.
fine.
So when you think about partnerships, it should literally be that old thing, the sum of the two parts are greater than them individually. We should have synergy here. We should be able to achieve more with two of us going in one direction as opposed to one of us, right?
Right. And that's like, no matter what it is, if you have a team and you're hiring people for those roles in the team, if you have to go back and do that role, then you're not really getting, that partnership's not coming together and moving in the momentum that it needs to. So you shouldn't be just one person trying to, I don't know how to explain that. But with basically the sum of you should definitely be more than the one of you. And that's the compounding effect of it.
So I put this together, and as a very, very quick side note, I see a lot of you taking pictures of everything. That's awesome. Keep doing it, because you'll have all that like at your fingertips this afternoon. What we may not have explained to those of you who weren't here last year, we publish all this after the event. Mm-hmm. So all the speakers, you're going to get all of their content, everything. Like, we published it last year. We're doing it again this year. So you'll have that. Okay. So this is somewhat of like a pyramid. Okay. When you start building a partnership, and I've seen this, I've been coaching people for 25 years, and I've seen partnerships flourish and do amazingly well. And I've seen the opposite. Okay. I will tell you, many, many times I'll see people that go to a real estate convention and they'll say, oh, you're a real estate agent? You want to achieve X? And I'm a real estate agent. I want to achieve X. And they're like, let's do this thing together. Okay? Sounds great, right? The problem is, the foundation of this whole thing, number one, mutual trust. Mm-hmm. If you don't have this like mutual trust of just like, I'll hand her the credit card, like hypothetically, I'll hand her the credit card and say, go buy camera equipment. Kayla was super smart. Go buy us camera equipment. I don't have to rethink anything she's doing. I just know she's going to do it. It's implicit trust. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's the foundation of a lot of this. It's aligned values and a shared vision of what we're actually going to do. Right? If you can't get that right, don't do it. It's simple like that. But I'm not saying don't do it. Don't start it. You got to have the conversation.
That was actually something that was very important when Craig and I were considering our partnership. Kevin, any of you are Catholic? Any of you go through Pre-Cana when you got married? Yes. Kevin and I did as well. And he basically did that for our partnership. So he sat us down and we had to write a list of the pros and cons and how we were going to communicate about finances, about how we're going to handle problems, who was going to be in charge of what, and how we were going to delineate tasks. And then from that's where we were able to delineate that we would make a great partnership. So it was kind of interesting, when that foundation isn't there and you go into things. So I've heard a lot of people come to Craig and I and say, oh, you guys are partners. You've been partners for a long time. Should we do it? And we look at each other and we're like, no. Because people jump into stuff so fast because they're excited because they think it's going to solve their problem. And usually it's solving a problem for a weakness they could pay someone to do. So that I love, it's worked out for us, but for a lot of people, it's not the right answer. Because when you go into a partnership, if that person can be paid at $100,000 or $50,000 or $20,000, whatever it is, I don't know the number, but that a task, then that shouldn't be a partner. That should be an employee or a person who's helping you, support you in a staffing position. So a lot of times we're broke as realtors. So what do? We bring people in as partners. Oh, I don't have, she's good at doing administrative or TC work. The person who's a rainmaker is the driving force of the business. The person that's out there getting the business and pulling the business in, however it looks, whether it's through technology or through relationships or networking or just building, and they're growing and they're building, and they have a compounding effect for you. That's when a partnership works. So that's what he's talking about, the sum of two. One is better than two. And in a marriage, it's similar. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but we have a lot of fun together. Like, you have all these things that you do that you love. And then you also, it's kind of cool because I never thought when I was younger, I was going to be a nurse. I never thought I was going to be an entrepreneur. I apparently, they knew in school I was, but I didn't know that. Because they told me I was going to be a salesperson when I was 12. I was so disappointed. I thought I was going to be, I didn't know what that meant. I wanted to be a veterinarian. You see my dog, my horses. But I'm not that smart. So I have to be a salesperson, which, by the way, is way smarter than any of that stuff. So, because you have to be people smart, and people smart is really challenging. So, anyways, the point is when you are able to share those common strengths and really build something powerful together to grow for the future, that's where we want to go. And then the collective growth synergy, the fulfillment of that is when you've hit that pinnacle of success and when you feel really good about what you're doing. So when you're building your foundation, like I know Chris Fridge has built an incredible team. I've watched him foundationally build that over the past 5 years. He said Lee Tessier was his coach. They're partners, by the way. They're partners in EXP. They aren't signed with a contract, but they're partners because they chose to align their businesses together. So when you're growing EXP, you're aligning with people. Brent aligned with me. Thank you, Brent, for aligning with me, because he pushed me. And your partner should push you. If your partner is sitting back and letting you skate, guess what? You're both losing. If one of you is skating faster than the other, and the other one's back there, you're still losing. You've got to get on the same page and run together and build something, because when you're doing something powerful, that's when your heart feels the best. That's when your family is the happiest. You're able to build the best opportunity for people. And whether you're exactly the same, which, God, I hope no one's like me.
They'd be fortunate.
Thank you. But that's what he says, because he has to say that. But if you're going to run with somebody, find your spouse and go talk to them about what it is you're doing, because that was a big mistake in our marriage very early on, because I didn't even know what I was doing. And as we've gotten older, we've been together 25 years married, 26 this year. I always have to look at him. 32 years together. That's a long time to put up with me. But it's been really interesting to watch ourselves grow in all the partnerships that I have. Bernadette is a partnership. Deb and Brian are partners of mine. The people, when I see somebody and they line up with me, I want to run with them. You look me in the eyes, I can feel it. Can you feel it when someone wants to run with you? I got you. You feel it? I've got you, you've got me. Those are your partners. Those are the people, that's that DNA. And then when they do that and they link arms with you and you run together and you're like, high-fiving, we did it. We rode that horse, we didn't fall off this time. When you're doing that, that's what really is powerful. And Craig's known us a long time. A lot of people have known us a long time. And we are definitely far from perfect. I am grumpy.
Perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, but we love each other and we love helping people. And then you can align, if you can find that alignment with your spouse or your kid or whoever it is. A poor Hunter, I'm like, you're going to be a realtor. He was a Marine Scout sniper. I mean, I was like, you want to be a realtor? I'm like, Uncle Lee, he's a really good realtor. I'm like, he'll help us, and we can do this together. And here he is carrying chairs on stage for me because he's just a great guy. But those are your partners. Your partners look like different things, or your marriage, if you will. But if you decide you're married to someone, I kind of joke, and Craig probably thinks I'm weird when I say this, but I say, when you get with me and when you're in my life, we're married for life. Like, you're stuck with me. You're gonna die together, because, like it or not, I am me, and Micah, you're you. But I don't give up on people. Like, I don't give up, and you guys don't give up on each other, and that's what this is about. Sorry, Kevin, I went way off your time. Your great slide deck here.
Nick's the one that's gonna be mad.
We're good.
Yeah.
Good time.
So we're going to talk about 5. Like, we wanted to frame this a little bit. We wanted to give you 5 things you can go home and literally start using tomorrow, over the weekend, next week, next month. It needs to become a theme of how you work with your partners, whoever they are. Okay. So. And I know when we were putting this together, you got kind of like passionate about this one. Did you want to talk about this, or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is kind of I alluded to this a few minutes ago when I was talking about you should be running further and faster together than what you would have done on your own. Okay. So when you sit down and you explain things to your partner, and again, it could be, if it's like Bill and you're going to farm neighborhoods, or you're like Kayla and you're going to build a YouTube channel, you want to sell more houses, you want to put it on an event like this, okay? You got to have one mission. We're all on the same page. You cannot have her idea and my idea. You got to have one friggin' mission, okay? And sometimes you just have to oversimplify it. I feel like we won because we've had so many people come up to us and say, this has been fantastic, this is awesome, I didn't know this is who I get to run with. Like, that's the kind of stuff, to us, that's all we needed to hear, okay? That mission accomplished. But we don't want one person running in this direction and one person running in that direction, and then after the fact go, well, I thought, okay? We don't have those conversations. We literally have met every week since last year
Daily.
About this event. Okay, we have these kinds of conversations every week, and it might have been 5 minutes, but we talked about this event every week. We went to, in fact, whether they didn't know it or not, we went to the Bahamas with David and Robin Phillips and the
Tristan family,
the O'Grady family. Okay, and we were actually doing trial runs on certain things with them when we were in the Bahamas. They may or may not have known that, but we were floating ideas with them. Okay, because we're just like testing the waters a little bit, no pun intended. So we had one mission, but multiple seats, all rowing in the same direction, which kind of gets to...
Yeah, so we would literally, Kevin and I have gotten really good, if this will help your family, is we've gotten really good about connecting and having, what we don't call it a board meeting, but we just make intentional time to talk about, okay, what's on your plate, what's on my plate, what's on our plate, and then making sure we're going in the right direction. And it's helped us get our time back. It's helped us have a better quality of life. And sometimes it might be like, we might work a Saturday and a Sunday, and a Monday we might go horseback riding. Because like it was better for us to do it. Like we were in the right frame of mind. We were already rolling down our path, and we'll just do it. We'll work 12-hour days, and then we'll just go like horseback riding. And people are like, "Oh, that's so cool!" Well, because we earned it. Like we worked hard, and then we earned it, right? And we go do that, and then it's like a refresh, a brain refresh. But these board meetings are important because you sit down together and you take the time to kind of grow through. Sometimes we like to have board meetings when I don't want to.
I'm going to point one thing out real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But you see this emotional and strategic support on the middle line there, okay? Because people process things, people react to pressure, people react to just all kinds of things differently, okay? You might have a lady and she gets frustrated and she might start crying. Is that a sign of weakness? No, she's pissed off and frustrated a lot of times, okay? Guys might pick something up and throw it, okay? And maybe it's somebody, I don't know, okay? But everybody in different ways needs emotional and strategic support. So sometimes she'll come to me and say, I'm stuck, I can't, It's like, well, here, if I do this, does that help? And it's like, it's totally unlocked her. She's good now, like good frame of mind. She's got what she needs, and now she's gonna go start running again. Took me 5 minutes of whatever I was doing. She's good to run now.
When you have ADHD, it's very hard to get your mind straight. And he's good at that.
So, the other is we got to understand each other's strengths. And again, do this at home, do this with your business partners, whoever they are, okay? You have some people that are like just great with people, like Bill told you. He just loves to talk to people, and that's how he sold a ton of real estate. You know, you have people that have different strengths, and you got to make sure that you're prioritizing, and you pick 1, 2, or 3 things max and put them in those lanes and make them run. Okay, and they should be doing the same thing for you, okay? So you gotta understand each other's strengths, and this dovetails super closely to this, and is you gotta prioritize them. Because when you know them, okay, get them out of all the weeds, all the crap that's holding them back from doing those 3 things. So if you, like I said, Shelley, super people person, she's got energy, she and Brent have energy I couldn't buy if I wanted to, okay? But I want to make sure that I'm putting her in that position where she can get in front of people, exercise her skill sets, exercise her energy, and maximize that. Anything else that's in the way of that, let's get rid of it. Let's find somebody else to do it. Maybe we even say, it's not worth it, right?
Well, it takes my energy away.
Yep. So I'll talk about this one real quick,
Okay.
because I am very big on this one. And no, I don't mean religion. Okay, I'm talking about there's home life and there's business life. In the real estate game, those lines get blurred so bad, okay? When I used to manage a team a couple years ago, I managed a team and I had 20-some consultants. I had, there's like 100 employees that technically kind of fell under me. And there were times I would go to people and I'd say, Christine, I haven't seen you take a vacation in X amount of time, and I don't see one on your calendar. You've got till Friday, and you're gonna come back to me and you're gonna show me when you're taking time off, and it's gotta be a whole week. And I wanna know what you're doing. And if you can't give it to me on Friday, I'm gonna have a piece of paper that's giving you a permanent vacation from this place of employment, okay? And it's because I believe so much in the idea of people need to get the hell out of their work life, and they have to do stuff to recharge their batteries. Because if you don't do that, you become an unpleasant person, okay? You have to draw a line between the real estate and client life and personal life. There are some of you in this room that have kids that only have so much time before they go off to college. You only got a few summers left. You got kids that are gonna get married. You got kids that are gonna go off on their own careers. You got some of you, like myself, I just had an experience recently where I looked at my mom, I'm like, she's almost 80. Like, I don't know how much time I have left. And you gotta make a choice, okay? Is it that client who you can't satisfy, or spend time with your family? You have to separate church and state. So I'm gonna actually, rather than this one, I think we all end on that one.
So I like this quote: strong marriages build strong businesses protect strong marriages. I love this quote because it really is about strengthening yourself so you can be there for the people that need you, and you do it together, you're the strongest you'll ever be. You'll be able to take your child to where they want to go, your team where they want to go. You can take anybody anywhere if you do it together and collaborate. I'm a collaborator. That's what I enjoy doing. I love collaborating because I know I struggle. I've never said this on stage before. I've never shared this with anybody. I mean, you guys know it, but I'm gonna actually say it. My ADHD is so bad that sometimes I will sit for a whole day and try to do something and cannot accomplish it. And I think that I'm a failure. That's how I was when I was a child. I thought I was a failure because I could never accomplish a task. So whenever I get around someone who can frame things for me and put things in perspective, that is where you build strength, because that's my weakness, but it's also, I'm gonna own it, our superpower for those of you who have ADHD. And I will tell you, every entrepreneur who's super successful has it. So find your people who can help you be able to shine a mirror at you, because we are really good when we can work off each other. It is a superpower. I'm telling you, I could not do what I do without that, whatever this is going in this brain.
And I want to share something because it speaks to everything that we've talked about here. Several years ago, she went to see a doctor, and she's talking about, different things, and, it's like one of the annual physicals or whatever it was. And like most doctors do, hey, she mentions, oh, I've got ADHD. And they're like, well, how about I write you a piece of paper for that? And she came home and told me that. And I said, throw that shit away. I said, she didn't fill it. She didn't fill it. I said, but throw the damn prescription away because it's going to ruin who you are. It's going to ruin the thing that made you what you are, okay? And it's just a great example. Like everybody wants to prescribe something, okay? That one prescription would have ruined who she was. It would have ruined what she is to all of you, okay? And it's the kind of thing where instead of trying to go for the easy fix, we go for the thing that works and puts what she's good at on a pedestal.
So, you have anything you want to add to this?
I'm going to add one last thing, only because it was right here, okay? I'm going to go right back to Bill because it's fresh and he just mentioned it. And there was a time, okay, if you went back to like he and his wife early on and you'd asked her, are you loving things right now? No, because they're struggling in their business, they're struggling in their marriage because of the business. But you fast forward to right now, and I can pretty well guess if I were to call her right now, she'd say, kind of love living in Florida, kind of love living in, and it's not about like, wealth and all, it's the freedom. And it's probably more about the time together than anything else. So you want to build a strong marriage, build your business really, really well.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
Yep.
And take it from all of our mistakes because we've made tons of them. But thank you guys for having us up here. Really appreciate it. Are you next? Thank you.